So we will, enjoy this open-heartedness. Some of the poses we're going to do, hey Joyce, good to see you. Some of the poses we're going to do are going to be a little bit more advanced than what we've often done. So if you feel like I'm kind of pushing you a little bit beyond your, what you're comfortable with, then, modify. And if you have a strap and blocks, please grab them now because we are going to be using them. I'm getting our music started. I was wrestling with trying to get our class recorded in a different way. It's always something, right? All right, so our music is going to be Meditative Mind Heart Opening. This is the ad. We're turning that down. Skip. Okay, there we go. All right, so I virtually always listen to Meditative Mind on YouTube, y'all. So if you like the music, you can find it there. So we are going to start today on the mat in sitting on our heels. So this is Vajrasana. Vajrasana is hero pose. And I'm going to go ahead and join us here on Insight Timer. I neglected to do that. So I will join that now. So just feeling the thighs starting to open up. And I invite you to close your eyes and go inside and, feel like connect to gratitude. Connect to your sense of gratitude. What are you grateful for? Closing your eyes. Oh, nice, Carol. How wonderful. Carol has a new granddaughter, so she's sneaking in class. Awesome. And Jackie, I'm glad that you told me that the sound is good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that feedback. So just feeling the thighs open up as we sit here. And if hero pose is really hard for you, if you have tweaky knees, you can always sit on a block. Okay? All right, and our comments going. So if you want to sit on a block, you just widen the feet a little bit. This is more Vajrasana. Okay? And you just sit here and close the eyes, nice tall spine, dropping down and breathing here into your connection to gratitude. Knowing we're going to do a lot of heart openers. But for the moment, let's just get centered and see if you want to just open your heart to gratitude in general, having this better connection to this amazing life you're leading, which, just as it is, not saying, oh, it's good except for that. Just as it is, breathing into this sense of gratitude. Eyes are closed, rolled up and in. And then wherever you're sitting, however you're sitting, maybe on a block, maybe on your heels, we'll be here for another minute or two. So if you're starting to feel like you're getting a little bit achy and you want to move onto a block, awesome. So grab your yoga strap and we're going to start opening up the shoulders, opening up the heart. So bringing the arms up overhead and widen your grip and go slow. If you whip through this, you can really, tweak the shoulders, and I don't want you to do that. So go slow and go back. You'll see that my grip is pretty darn wide because of that shoulder issue, and then you bring the strap behind you, and then you lift it up again. So going slow. Going slow. I'm glad, Susan. I'm glad you can hear me. Yeah, I'm not using my fancy schmancy microphone. I'm just using the regular microphone on my computer. So we're inhaling and we're lifting up. And then again, inhale, lift up, and then exhale those shoulders back. Just starting to open up the shoulders. So this class, again, this is an inspiration from a class I did yesterday morning on Gaia. Shortening up the grip of your strap so it's narrower, bringing it overhead, and then just making circles, small circles, like as if you're kind of leaning a little bit to the left, bring the hands back, lean to the right, come forward, and do it again. So again, the class that inspired me for this class, I will share it on our Circle, Yoga and Life Talk with Laura, in case you want to go through it again. She goes at a little bit of a quicker clip, and she's going to cover more territory than we do, because she also does a 45-minute flow. Okay? And just feel your heart opening. And again, breathe into that sense of gratitude. Opening the heart to everything you have in life, in all its beautifully, perfectly imperfect perfection. Right? On down. Bringing those hands down. So we're going to be building to a pigeon variation, which I've honestly forgotten the name of it. It's a classic yoga pose. You'll be like, oh yeah, I know that pose. So coming off your block, if you were on a block, widen those heels if this is okay with your knees. Okay? If it's not okay with your knees, then stay on your block. I personally, at the beginning of practice, I like having the block behind me. So you're going to come on back, and you're going to start to feel a stretch through the thighs. All right? And depending on where you are, you might be like, oh, this is enough. Breathe into those thighs. Or maybe you can come back onto your elbows. And you might be like, wow. Maybe you can come down onto your elbows off the blocks. Or maybe you can even lay all the way down onto your back. Okay, just breathing here into that stretch in the quads, the knees. Taking care of the knees. If you have tweaky knees, don't come back. Always listen to the body. Another breath. Drop the chin back, open the throat. And then roll it up. Coming up. Oh, right. So good. Yes. So I've said it time and again, but I'll say it again here. Remember that I'm just the guide. I'm like, if this is, an airplane, if we're like flying, your practice is a flight, you're the pilot. I'm just the navigator. Settle the heels down. So anytime I suggest something where you're like, whoa, Nelly, that doesn't work for me, then don't do it. Don't do it. Head hangs heavy. Breathing here in your down dog. Just allowing yourself to drop down into that feeling of gratitude. Another breath. And then float that right leg back and up, stretch it up, allow the heel to settle down, and then make circles with that knee, that right knee. Making nice big circles, opening the hips. So the big areas we're going to focus on opening. We're going to focus on opening the hips. We're going to focus on opening the quads, the shoulders, and the heart. Okay, another breath. And then dropping the knees down. And we're going to bring that leg back. Right? Beautiful, long line. Breathing into the strength of the back of that leg. Another breath. And then bring that knee down. Inhale, lift up into your cow and arch. Inhale, lift. And then curl the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Hanging that head heavy and thinking again about gratitude. And maybe choosing one thing in your life, just saying, I am so grateful for. And say that out loud. I'm so grateful for. Flip that left leg back and up, stretch it up. And then make big circles with that knee, bringing movement into the hips. And then come on down. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Flip that left leg back and up. Pouring energy down that leg, out the heel. Nice neutral neck. Breathing here. Another breath. And then float the knees down. And curl the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Glide forward plank pose and come on down. Ashtanga Pranam. 8-pointed pose. Hands underneath the heart. And now we're going to extend the left arm out to the left. So it's pretty much like a T. And be really mindful if you have any shoulder issues here. We're going to do, Tiffany in her class refers to this as scorpion. So we're going to lightly tent our hands to the right of the body. The right hand is tented. And we're going to slowly roll over onto the left side. And then the foot comes back and touches down. And you're breathing here, right? Breathing into the rotator cuff. You might feel this in the pectoral muscles. Breathing. Now it's your choice if you like keeping the fingers tented here in front of the heart, or if you want to reach around and catch your bind. Breathing. Another breath. And then unwind the spine. Ooh, right? Hands come under shoulders. Let's inhale, lift into our Bajrasana. And exhale it down. Inhale, lift. Remember, if you're having a hard time seeing me, that you can always tap the screen, and that makes the comments go away. Inhale, lift up. Y'all lift on up into down dog. I'm going to angle my camera just a little bit so you get a little bit of an easier view, since we're going to do some more groundwork. And then come on down again, Ashtanga Pranam. And then our right arm stretches out to the side. Okay, out like a T. And then we tent our left fingers on the mat, close to the heart. And we roll open. Left foot comes back. Okay? And your choice, you might leave your fingers here, or you might wrap around and catch your bind, or you're just kind of wrapping around the back waist. And breathe into that shoulder. Breathe into the rotator cuffs. And close the eyes, roll the eyes up and in, and again connect to your sense of gratitude. Feeling your heart flowering open. Whatever it is you've chosen. No, I'm so grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm so grateful I have this healthy body to live in. I'm so grateful that I have these wonderful furry companions. Whatever it is, release, roll it down. Hands are under the shoulders. Press the hands into the earth and come on up, Bhujangasana, and feel the heart opening. Feel that gratitude really shining out of the heart. And come on down. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. curl the toes, lift the hips, come on up, down dog. Ooh, stretching out the lumbar spine, head hangs heavy. Another breath. Float that right, yow! That didn't hurt, but it was loud. Float that right leg back and up, stretch it up. And then Tiffany does this, which I really like. Take your toes behind your heel. So it's like between you spread your big toe and catch your big toe right on the Achilles tendon. So you're gliding the heel down. You know, like as if you're using like your own foot, your own toes to give yourself a hands-on adjustment. Stretching out the left leg. And then step that right foot forward, bringing the foot forward, and come on down, and we're going into lizard. So with lizard pose, we want the foot to be at an angle, okay? And you can either have the foot be flat, or you can kind of let that knee fall away so that you're getting heavy on the outer line of the foot. And our left hand comes down, and we can bring our hand into the knee, the right hand into the knee, pressing the knee open. Or you can extend that arm long, so the right arm, so you're looking over the right side. My right arm is stretching back. And this might be like more than enough. You can also have your hand on a block, your left hand on a block, if that's easier for you. And if you'd like, you can bring that heel up, the left heel up, and you're going to feel, again, a big stretch through the quads, right? And you can kind of grab for that foot. Breathing. Looking over the shoulder. Another breath. And then unwind. Ooh. Hands frame the foot, hands on the inside of the foot, and bring that knee back. Widen the knees, touch the toes, sit back, child's pose, press the hands into the floor. Allow yourself to melt down. Again, breath by breath, moment by moment, continually come back to your gratitude. You know, I'm so grateful for yoga. I'm so grateful for this time in my body on the mat. I'm so grateful that I have clean drinking water, whatever it is. Come on up. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Curl the toes, lift the hips. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. So this time we're going to float our left leg back and up. Don't kick the table. And then bring that foot down. And just using, again, you're spreading the toes. So it's like the big toe is on the outer edge of the foot and the little toes are on the inner edge of the foot. And you're using your foot to kind of glide that heel down. Another breath. And then we're going to step that left leg forward, coming into lizard on this side. Drop the knee down. So again, the foot is at an angle, okay? Grab your block and put your hand on a block, your right hand on a block if that's helpful to you. Your left hand can go onto the knee and you're allowing those hips to drop open, maybe rolling onto the long edge of the left foot. And old comments come back. There we go. Okay, awesome. So Jackie says a gratitude practice is so welcome today as you're beginning to feel left out with so many friends going places. Oh man, I hear you. And then if you'd like, you can bring that foot up and reach back. Oh, sorry, I'm going the wrong way. We were supposed to open our arm back. There we go, opening our heart. And then if you'd like, you can reach back and catch that foot. Or not. Or not, right? You might be like, Laura, my foot is a mile away. Okay, grab your strap. If you want to grab your strap, if you want to reach for the foot. Or just have your arms still be back and open the heart, whatever works for you. Breathing here to your sense of gratitude. And then release. And get the block out of the way if you had it there. Come on back. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Let's inhale, lift. And exhale, arch. Keep opening your heart. Keep opening your heart to gratitude for things just as they are. Just as they are. So curling the toes under, we're going to come up into a variation of camel. So camel typically is practiced like this, right? Okay, with our hips being perpendicular to the floor, down to the knees. But Tiffany added an interesting variation where she extends her right leg forward. All right, the blocks are still up, and then we really open the heart. Now you might be like, I like it more. You might be like, I like it less. If you want to go into classic camel, feel free. It's up to you. You want to try this one? Brilliant. So breathing into that left hand quad, and then release. Knees either side of each other. Come bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale, arch. You know, and especially as, you know, we might be grappling with stuff, right? And the reality is we're all tired. Well, I should say most of us are tired. I don't need to layer something on you where you're like, Laura, I'm not tired. Don't tell me how I feel. That's very fair. My apologies if I did that to you. Inhale, come on up. And now whichever leg you had forward, I had my right forward, you go put the opposite foot forward. So for me, it's my left. Okay, so the leg stretches forward. Hands are on the blocks. And we just open that heart. Maybe the chin lifts up. You know, what reminds me of this sense of gratitude is even when things happen that you're like, man, I wish that it wasn't like that. You know, I invite you to just kind of take a witness consciousness and just say, who's to say, you know, what this is going to make space for? Okay, curl the toes under. You know, my example is my son, Alex, whom I don't talk about quite as much as I talk about Cooper because he doesn't live with me. So bringing the heels, the hips back onto the heels, curling those toes under. So I jokingly always say this is the yoga pose that needs a better PR director. This is broken toe pose. Clasping the hands behind the hips and roll down. So it's looking like my 30-year-old is going to be getting a divorce. And it's sad, right? You know, it's sad, and you can have these moments of like locking down into wanting things to be different. You know, but from a gratitude standpoint, and from just being in a place, come off of your lovely toes, which are hopefully not broken, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. You know, I'm trying to just breathe through this, you know, with the hope that this is the path he needs to be on to find greater happiness. Arching. And just recognizing that, you know, it's like Kali, right? The destructor, the destroyer. Very often you need to destroy, you need to make space in order to plant things that are new. So maybe as you're going through this gratitude practice, all right, plugging the hands into the earth, curl the toes, lift the hips, maybe starting to have gratitude for things that typically you wouldn't have had gratitude for before. recognizing, like if you've lost something, lift that right leg back and up, floating the foot open. And if your block is in the way, we're going into wild thing. Okay, so for some of you, you might be like, I don't know. So just to hang out here in fire hydrant pose, as I lovingly call this variation. If you'd like to roll into wild thing, we want to bring our left hand strongly on the mat. Fingers are spread, ground the hands in, and then we roll down. The ball of the right foot comes down. We're on that long edge of the left foot, and we're lifting the hips up as we waterfall that arm over. And we breathe, and we roll the arm around. Okay? Wild Thing. Wild Thing has such a cool name in Sanskrit, but I haven't read it recently, so I've forgotten what it's called. Roll it down. And come back into your down dog. So the gratitude practice, it reminds me of that whole plugging that right foot down. We're going up into Wild Thing on the other side. Bring that leg up. Take your fire hydrant pose. Hang here if Wild Thing isn't for you. For the rest of us, drop it down. Long edge of the foot. Lift the hips up. Waterfall the arm over. It reminds me of that story we talked about with the shepherd. Remember, whose son, making big circles with the arm. The son who broke his leg, and the military comes into town and takes, all the able-bodied young people. Well, actually, the way the story goes, I'm not going to do the whole thing. But, the neighbors come after the son's leg has been broken and roll it down. And they say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for this tragedy. Your son's not going to be able to help you in the fields. And the shepherd said, well, we'll see. And then the military comes into town, takes all the able-bodied young men. And the neighbors are back at his door. Oh, you're so lucky, your son wasn't taken. Well, we'll see, right? So it was a back and forth story. Come down into your child's pose. Arms reach forward. So if you've experienced a loss, for me, it's going to be the loss of my daughter-in-law, who I was, very fond, of. I was excited about the possibility of, Alex having children in the near future, and that's now not going to be the case. So, I need to take more of a, we'll see, and be grateful. I'm grateful for my son making the hard decisions, taking care of himself. Breathing here into your hips. Another breath. And then plug those hands into the mat. Walk your feet out. So Dorothy, you are here. I was thinking of you, wondering if you were here. And float that right leg forward, coming into pigeon. Okay, so our full expression of this heart opener is going to be a variation of pigeon, but for right now, we're just doing classic pigeon. So we're breathing, having a squeeze, like squeeze the knees in, and you feel how like when you squeeze the knees in, you're kind of like you almost post up, you get taller. Okay, so just practice that, because we're going to need that for our final pose. And then we're going to come down. And our final pose is definitely going to require a strap. So if you don't have a strap, you can also grab like a bathrobe tie and come down into your pigeon. So if you don't have a strap, then I'll just kind of give you a variation, or you can do pigeon again. Oh man, Susan, you have a broken toe. Oh no. Well, be careful. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, Dorothy. Well, I don't think you should make any decisions about your marriage, Dorothy. I know you've gone through so much with your IVF journey. So I think you should let things settle. It's hard to make good decisions when you're grieving, so hard. You're both probably grieving in different ways. So one of the things, and Dorothy, for you or for anyone else who is in relationship and maybe struggling, there's that book, Hold Me Tight, which I would really recommend. Go ahead and walk the hands up. Okay, breathing here in your pigeon. And then settle that hip down and swing the leg around. Giving yourself a nice hug in your Ardha Matsyendrasana. Remembering this bottom leg, for me it's my right leg, it's my left knee that's bent, and I'm wrapping my right arm around my left knee, twisting to the left. So that book, Hold Me Tight, it's by Sue Johnson, I think her name is. It gives some really, really, really good advice about how to reconnect. And it talks a lot about safe attachments. Release your Ardha Matsyendrasana, twist a little bit in the opposite direction. And release. And let's take pigeon on the other side. So if you're like, I can just go straight into pigeon, I don't need down dog, we'll go for it. For the rest of us, come on up into your down dog and swing that left leg forward. And again, feeling that squeeze, like squeezing the knees together, like you're trying to squeeze the knees towards the midline of the mat, and that'll like pop you up. It'll give you more height. Breathing here. And then come on down into your pigeon. Breathing here in your hips, closing the eyes. So when you're in that place, where things have not gone as you hoped, like with Alex, I need you to just have faith that he'll move on and he'll find someone even more perfect for him, whom I will love, just as much, maybe more. And that will give, him even greater happiness. So just having faith and having gratitude for your ability to just open your heart and rest. Rest in the patience, the ability to just be like the shepherd who will see, where you're just kind of witnessing life with soft, open hands. Another breath. And then walk those hands up. Beautiful open heart. Settle the hips down on the left and swing that right leg around, coming into your half Lord of the Fishes pose. So now I have my right knee up, my left leg is bent. I'm wrapping my left arm around the knee as I twist to the right. Closing the eyes, roll the eyes up and in, activating the pineal gland. And just breathe into that heart. Feel your heart flowering open, blossoming open. Breathing into gratitude. Big belly breaths, remembering that, our belly breathing settles down inflammation. It settles down if you're feeling really activated, if you're really grieving. Keep breathing into the belly. And just let your hands be soft. Let your grip release. And release the twist and go to the left. Alrighty. Coming on to the knees, coming back into your Vajrasana. So Vajrasana, the difference between Vajrasana and Virasana, Virasana, you're sitting on your heels. Vajrasana, your heels float out, and you might be like, oh yeah, those quads are a little bit more open. So maybe you're still going to come back, like maybe you're still up here, maybe you're still, maybe you come back onto the blocks, elbows on the blocks. Maybe you can bring your elbows down, and you're just stretching out those quads one last time before we do our final pose. Maybe you can come all the way down onto the back. I think I can do it, but it would be pretty funny watching me get out of it. Oh man. Another breath. And come on up. All right. Roll forward. So this is the final pose of what we've been working for. Okay, it's a big heart opener. It's a big opener for our quads. So lifting up into your down dog. And we're going to step our right leg forward. Now, if you have a block, I recommend that you use it. Okay? Take your block and put it flat way, narrow way, underneath your booty on the right. Okay? So that you can kind of let your hips settle onto that block. All right? And then we have a really beautiful open heart. Look at this beautiful bell of our heart. And we're going to grab our strap, and we're going to put the strap around the foot. All right? And if you don't have a strap, then no worries. You're just going to kind of bring your foot up, and you're going to kind of go like this. Your hands are going to be on the mat. Okay, for the rest of us, we're going to take our strap overhead, catch your balance, and we're going to walk our hands back. Ella balance. We're going to walk our hands back. Man, oh man, I'm having a hard time getting balanced here. So, come on, balance. Nope. Let me sit on the block. There we go. Okay, and we're going to bring those hands back, and a beautiful open heart. Breathing here. And release. Hands come down, come off the block, and walk it out. Ooh, right? Tailbone rises up, head hangs heavy. Another breath. Get your strap off your foot. If you're like me, that's kind of stuck on there. And then let's widen the knees. Touch the toes. Come on back. Come into child's pose. Another breath. Again, connecting to gratitude. Connecting to gratitude. Another breath. And then let's do the other side. Plug the hands in. All right. And let's flip that left leg back and up. And bring the block underneath the hips. Take your strap, put it around the foot. Let's see how my balance is on this side. So we want to squeeze and lift, right? Squeeze and lift. And so we're lifting ourselves up, and then our strap comes up, bringing, oh man, my balance is bad on this side too. There we go. There it is. I need to settle my hip down more, I think. I think I was balancing too much on my knees. So breathe here, opening the heart, breathing into this flowering, this blossoming of Untitled Chapter. Closing my eyes probably doesn't help my balance. Let's leave our eyes open. Another breath. And then release that foot down. And come on down. Get the block out of the way. Bring the knees open. Touch the toes. Sit back, child's pose, right? Allow yourself to just melt down in your child. Another breath. And then from here, let's roll it over. Ekapada Raja Kapastasana. I know it, but that's just pigeon. There's another one. Isn't there another name for that? Oh, bring the knees into the chest. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate the Sanskrit. But that's what I always call pigeon. Isn't there, I thought there was another name for that bringing the foot up thingy. So let's rock it out, left to right. Hug the knees into the chest. Roll those knees around. Soles of the feet on the floor, and just windshield wiper those knees back and forth. Inhale those knees up and exhale them down. And just breathe again into your gratitude. Whatever it is that you're focused on. Hug those knees into the chest. Stretching out the back body. And then extend the legs long and allow yourself to just melt down into your Shavasana. Letting go of all effort. Letting go of the thinking mind and just breathing, knowing that we've done so much work to open the heart. Allowing the body to float down, relax down, release down. Beautiful open-heartedness. So our poem today is Remember This by Dana Falls. Dana writes, vast and changeless, the ground of being is not rocked by ripples on the pond. The firmament from which we spring, the divinity at the heart of things, doesn't wax or wane with mind states or wither in the wind. We come from stronger stuff than feelings, as essence does not fail or fade, diminish or trade reality for illusion. We are wordless, wide, and wise beyond time. Within us is a flame of truth that never dies. Let that be the focal point of life. Let that be the light that guides us from the shadows. So for those of us who are struggling, I'm going to repeat this line. We come from stronger stuff than feelings. So just recognizing that these feelings, while they might be very valid, they might be very true, they're momentary. In time they will fade. And as I always say, don't push them away, don't swallow them down. Just allow them to be and breathe. Breathe into your gratitude for this heart, which allows you to feel. Breathe into gratitude for this life, with all of its lovely imperfections. Another breath. And then as you're ready, wiggling fingers and toes, rolling the hands on the wrists, rolling the feet on the ankles, rolling the head on the neck. And then roll over, cradling the heart, wrapping your arms around yourself, giving yourself the biggest hug. Sending this open heart of yours so much love, so much gratitude. And then carefully press yourself up into an easy seat. The hands together at the heart space in Anjali Mudra, a gesture of devotion. And then you can flower your Anjali Mudra open to Padma Mudra, which is Lotus Mudra, flowering open your heart. Take a nice big inhale. Let's Om out together.